Ooh, that was some good scotch. Like a nice scotch. Huh? Makes me feel manly.
Yeah. My voice got a little deeper.
Yeah, I just feel when you drink scotch on the rocks, it's such a manly drink.
I'm ready to eat a bear.
Raindrops on roses and whiskers on kittens. Bright copper kettles and warm woolen mittens. Little brown packages tied up with string. These are a few of my favorite things.
Okay, that one I knew I recognized. Where's that from?
Sound of Music.
Yeah, okay, that one I knew is from a
The
musical.
Sound of Music. One of my personal favorite musicals.
Yeah? Is that Andrew Lloyd Webber? Or Sondheim?
No, it's the two guys, Hammerstein and Hammerstein and
Hammer.
no, it's two.
Rogers and Hammerstein.
Rogers and Hammerstein.
Aha, same.
Look at how sweaty I am.
Nice. Oh, that is a perfect set. Well, we should do the intro first, but I do have to talk about this fucking piano.
So, welcome to the Bushwick Bears, guys. I'm Jericho Davidson. I got Derek Humphrey over here.
Hey.
Boris Hyken.
You.
We're back. I got on a little T-shirt.
Showing a little nip almost.
My nipples might come out. You can just see the guns. You can see the shoulders. Look at that. Ah! So
that side pack.
That side pack. This T-shirt, it's a great T-shirt by Tan Line Printing out of Tucson, Arizona. It's a little snow globe with the desert, and it says "fuck you," and it's got a little thing like "from the desert." Which
nice.
I think
fuck you from the desert.
Fuck
That's
you.
kind of got a nice ring.
Yeah. And I think it's a cute shirt. When I first got the shirt, I had it on, and I was going to the airport, and the ticketing lady, I think I had to check a bag. I don't know why I would talk to the ticketing lady, right? So, but I had to go talk to the ticketing lady, which you haven't done in like 5 years. You do it all on your phone nowadays. Yeah. But I had to go talk to the ticketing lady. I was checking a bag. That's exactly what it was. And I went to the ticketing lady, and I was wearing this shirt, and she looks at me and she goes, "Do you have another shirt by chance?" And I go, "Yeah. Why? What's up?" Like, I don't know. Someone might find that offensive.
Oh.
And so I was like, okay, yeah, maybe I'll change it when I go through. And so I was like, that's annoying, fucking bitch. And then I go to the TSA guy, and the TSA guy goes, "I like your shirt, bro." So I was like, fuck it, I'm leaving the shirt on.
Of course. Well, the TSA guy has a GED.
Well, yeah. Speaking of fucking entry-level jobs.
He's not picking his nose up at nobody.
Fucking TSA guys.
You wear your shirt.
I feel like I'm underqualified to be a TSA guy. I haven't finished my GED yet.
Don't they like test those and like some ridiculous percentage of guns just get through when they run actual tests? It's like all theater.
Yeah, it's all
so.
theater. No, TSA is like 100% celebrity theater. Security theater.
Don't you
I feel
hate
like
when
they
you
would find a gun if it was in your carry-on?
So many, you'd be shocked how many things get through.
I don't think they just literally throw a gun, and I think it's like testing agencies that go through like implore some sort of tactics to get it by them.
There was something I read that like they've like literally stopped no one since 9/11. They've like stopped nothing, something or 1%.
Oh, like they haven't stopped.
They haven't stopped anything
thing from
since
happening. It's a lot of.
But goddamn, I can't bring soap.
Yeah, it's reactionary. Like the one dude had those exploding boots, and then everybody started taking their shoes off. But it was just that one time that it was this specific thing,
The shoe bomb.
The shoe bomb.
When everybody starts talking about how bad of a president Donald Trump is, I always
here we go.
Present George W. Bush.
Oh, he was a terrible president, though.
Bill Clinton.
Not a good president.
He was a bad president, but behind the scenes.
Yeah, I know. Trump is at least all out there.
Well, Clinton was just very smart, and he made America feel. I'm going to say
when we really want.
Classy doesn't feel like the right word after the Epstein stuff, but and I guess the Lewinsky scandal. But even that was like kind of at the time like a baller saxophone player president move.
Yeah, like Southern.
I wouldn't call it baller. We saw what she looked like.
It's fine. That's whatever, I guess.
Every president in the history of presidency.
It was JFK,
Was off getting fucking Hummers from fucking assistants,
right.
Of course. That's part of being a president.
You knew JFK was actually trying to get stuff done because he got killed.
He got killed for it.
Right, yeah. He was trying to get rid of the CIA, if I'm not
he was trying to
mistaken.
bring down the mafia, and the mafia got him elected, and they're like, nope. See ya, bro.
Right. They
And
had,
your brother too. See ya, bro.
I thought it was the CIA.
No, it was the mafia. They might have been working together, but it was one. It was the fucking.
and your
mafia.
other brother, or cousin, we're
Your
gonna threaten
cousin.
him with getting autism from a vaccine.
But he was a child. Remember he killed that girl.
Ted.
That was
did.
Ted.
Yeah,
yeah.
like
That's your cousin. That's who you're talking about, right?
Chappaquiddick.
No, there's another.
No, I was talking
Oh.
about Robert Kennedy, I believe.
No, I mean not Robert Kennedy. Robert Kennedy
Jr.
That's the brother. Robert
Yeah.
Kennedy Jr. Oh,
I
okay.
think is it Robert, the one that's like an anti-vaxxer?
I've
Yeah,
stopped
him and
paying.
Jessica Biel.
He's got that crazy
yeah.
deep, like weird voice,
Oh,
and
no.
But you know what? I've listened to a couple clips of him, and I will say he gets a little bit of the Marianne Williams treatment, where they make him sound maybe crazier than he is.
Yeah.
Where like similar to her, they called her an anti-vaxxer, and she was like, "No, I believe in the science of vaccines. I just also want to talk about the fact that there are large pharmaceutical companies, and there are sometimes issues
Yeah,
with these
right.
drugs, and so we shouldn't just
Sure.
simplify it." But yeah, he gets a little crazy sometimes.
I would literally take every vaccine I've ever had, get it out of my body. I never took it once, just to take a stab at Jenny McCarthy one time. Cause I'm a kid from the '90s, man, and there was nobody hotter in the world.
Baby,
that's
I will
true.
give up
She's-
vaccines
she's
for
kind
you.
of gross now, but
Well,
back
I
in the
mean,
day, yeah.
It's one of those things when you see like women get older who still have fake breast implants. It's like the rest of their body, even the skin right here and like right here, ages, but their tits don't ever.
Man,
So it just looks so crazy.
dudes fucking rock.
It's like the rest
We
of them.
age so good. We age so much.
Oh my God!
better
I've
than
I've
women.
never looked better in my life
Yeah.
than today. Every new day is the best I've ever looked. You know what I mean?
Women
being-
age like
Being
dog
a
shit.
dude is the best in that regard. It's like I just keep getting better. Look, I've got this like my beard's turning white like pretty fast.
Yeah.
I got this badass gray streak right up top.
Oh yeah.
I fucking look great.
Yeah, you know what? Some of us are going bald and falling apart.
No, you're in the best shape out of all of us.
I'm
Yeah.
in decent shape, but I have more. I'm fine. Like overall, I think I'm in pretty good health. My hair is definitely thinning, and my body is feeling things worse when I like drink or exert myself.
I don't
really.
I feel terrible all the time.
But I look hot.
But I
baby.
look good.
Yeah, I mean my back.
I look
hurts
good
all the
feeling
time.
bad.
I feel
Here's the other thing though
terrible.
about the that autistic Kennedy that
Yeah.
we're talking about. I
Yeah.
think he's autistic. right?
No,
Well,
he's
deep throated.
no, he's an anti-vaxxer who
Sure.
believes they cause not just
so he doesn't-
autism but all
so he
sorts of
doesn't
stuff.
have autism.
No,
Okay, so
I mean
him
he
and Jessica
might.
Biel.
I don't think so.
Him and Jessica Biel, I saw a news article where they're both like they're in the same thing where it's like we're not saying we're anti-vax, but we want like more transparency with the information sort of thing. They passed some law in California about it, and it's like funny to watch on Twitter. There are all these people who are calling them unhealthy, and they're both like pretty attractive, in shape people.
But
Yeah.
you guys,
It's like-
you guys, why? But what would Big Pharma have to gain by lying to us?
Right? Yeah, I know.
They just want to make us hot and
What? What would-
impenetrable,
Well, no,
invincible.
that's the thing is like these attractive in shape people are telling, hey, I don't want to put stuff in my body necessarily, and then you have like fat people who are like these unhealthy dumb fucks, and you're like, come on, you soda
like
drinking piece of
the
shit.
fact that like vaccines, like it's not crazy to me the idea that vaccines would cause some weird thing. There's been more drug overdoses in the history of humankind last year, and then this year we beat it, right?
really.
In the United, maybe in the United
That's
States.
because everybody just killed
Opioid
themselves
crisis
first.
still. or-
Opioid it's worse than it's ever been the last 2 years.
Yeah.
19 was the worst on recorded history, and 20 is now the worst.
Yeah, I
and
believe it.
and it's from fentanyl. You mean something that's made by Big Pharma, something that was
Yeah.
produced in a lab, like, and it is legal for most people not most people. That
Well,
take
it's a
it
lot
now,
of people
but
that get some shit prescribed and then they end up just like getting stuck with it.
I'm just saying, it's just like I'm just saying is like the fact that like one of these big companies would like lie about the effects of something to make money isn't shocking.
Well, see, and the thing is, though, you do have to at some point, I think, have to recognize though to have a little bit of individual merit, I guess, or not merit, but like distinction. Where it's like I know that, like I have back pain. Right, I have chronic back pain.
you can start taking pills,
I
but
could
you
start
know what's
taking
going to
pills,
happen.
but I know it probably end up like bad.
So maybe you should do some yoga or whatever.
Right, or something along that. Well,
Also true.
we
Individual
preach-
responsibility is what you're saying.
Well, that's the thing though. But it's like culturally, we preach addressing the problem instead of finding a solution.
Or putting Band-Aids on it, rather.
Yeah, but
Right.
fucking
Yeah.
Band-Aids.
And
They're-
addressing
Band-Aids
problems.
are real expensive.
Like reacting to things creates a market versus we have to figure out a way to make preventative things like a market.
Right. Curing something, you cure everybody and your customers are gone, but you treat something and you can treat people for life.
Right.
Yeah.
Exactly. Even if it's to the detriment of your life. Like there's that woman who lives, I forget what her fucking name is, but she has like this really aggressive like therapy thing where she tells all of her patients to stop taking all their drugs immediately and then stop eating certain kinds of food for 30 fucking days. And like all these people their lives improved like dramatically.
All of them?
Just from doing it. Yeah. Because there's so many people, because people are just like overprescribed.
I mean,
nowadays.
I believe that, but
I've been
she must
prescribed so
screen her patients because there's some people that do just need certain, like, they either have a chemical imbalance in their
patients,
brain.
For
or,
sure. That's her test, like her test subjects or whatever. But
yeah.
like she's written papers about it and all that sort of stuff. And she had to get like security for her and I think her daughter or whatever because like Big Pharma might try to kill her or something like
Yeah,
that.
that's
Because
just
it's like
getting in the
such
way of a lot of money. When you're talking billions of dollars, like they'll fucking kill you in a heartbeat.
I don't
Right,
know.
yeah.
Dude, in a heartbeat. I like literally like I know. I shouldn't say.
Just an individual.
In theory, I know people that. In theory, I know people that would kill a man for $1,000.
Right. I mean, here's
Not
the
that much fucking money.
right. But as far as a pharmaceutical company goes, there are other costs to killing you than paying someone $1,000, like the risk of getting caught
well, that's why
doing
you
it
hire
at the very
professionals,
least.
but that's pennies on the dollar.
I just think
Pennies
it.
on
I
the
just think it
dollar.
depends. I don't think it's necessarily that conspiratorial, like the pharmacy company just wants to lie to you and blah blah blah. I think it's the same way people talk about like systemic racism or whatever else. Is just a bureaucracy where getting certain results from certain tests has financial incentives, and if you don't have enough incentives that are pulling in different directions, you start veering towards like, well, yeah, we're going to take these doctors to a Caribbean vacation as long as they prescribe our antidepressants for their patients. We'll give them a presentation on it. And now the doctor's like, well, ultimately it's your choice whether you want to take this pill for your back or if you want to do yoga. But from what I gather from the data, it looks like it's okay. It's up to you if you want to do yoga every morning.
Sure,
it's still
but
that
there's-
responsibility, but then depending on who you are, there's a lot more pressure and incentives for you to make the wrong decision
you're
as
also
well.
going off the assumption that every doctor is going to be that.
Not every
altruistic.
doctor.
I mean, like they can.
Oh no, I was actually doing a bad guy doctor. I was actually doing a doctor that like got money from the pharmaceutical company, and he's
Oh, but
acting.
he's still giving you like the choice. Like
He's
I
giving
think
you
there are
the
a lot
choice.
Of doctors that, not a lot, but they're ultimately at some injuncture. There's a doctor who's making money because you're getting a thing.
I think
Oh,
those
you should see,
exist.
I bartended and grew up in a college town with a pretty prestigious medical program. And oh my God, when the big pharma dudes come in to court the young doctors in school,
Oh yeah.
they ball out so
Oh,
hard.
I bet they
and
got.
they tip like crazy, and they'll take them to like the nicest restaurants. They'll bring them out to the bars, and they'll party. And I reaped a little bit of that benefit just by getting tipped.
Yeah.
But you knew like, oh, these are medical students, and these are the pharmaceutical companies coming them to like
It's a lot to go around here.
oh hey, I'm from this company, and remember when we did all this for you and
Right.
gave you all this money and did all this stuff for you?
I don't think it's as conspiratorial. It's just like incentives.
I don't think it's conspiratorial at all. I think it's obvious and is what's happening.
Right.
Yeah, I think conspiratorial makes it seem like
Makes
it's
it seem like it's
like
not
it's an
that-
insane idea that the billion-dollar companies would want to kill you for threatening their profit margins.
I just also, it's not like, I don't know, there's problems with it, but I don't know if it's that evil considering that same company, right, that's like maybe making tons of money off of insulin or whatever, like cartoonishly evil thing. They're also spending a ton of money doing research and development on like curing a thing that fucking, whatever, 200 people have. And it's like, we don't actually, why the fuck would we spend time? There's no money in curing this. But then there's certain companies where like, yeah, they'll charge you a fuckload for this because they're also spending a ton on research and development for that. And like, we wouldn't have some of these cures or some of these treatments.
here's the thing:
anybody who's like any like CEO of any company that's like walking away with billions of dollars a year,
I think
they're researching. They do some good, but they make a whole lot of money.
They make a
keeping
fuck ton of
people
money.
on medicine.
Here's the thing: is I don't even care about that so much as the fact that there's a market for prescription drugs, but there isn't a market if I just want to go to the store and get a tin of opium, because that makes my back feel better than any pill would.
Yeah.
And
maybe.
and
I mean,
think,
I don't know.
I think the hypocrisy.
I think it's worth trying. That's for sure.
I think the hypocrisy in that is like, we don't trust you to make your own decisions, but we're going to give you a choice at the doctor's office to do something that might actually have the side effects are going to be worse for you than what we're addressing. There's all those commercials that have all those bad side effects and everything like
I
that.
agree with you ideologically in that I think you should be able to fucking do opium if you want to do it, especially if you want to do it rather than buy whatever opiates from a company. I don't know if like actually it's better for you necessarily to smoke opium for your back rather than take a Vicodin.
But
it might be. I agree. I agree with. Yeah.
It goes back to the fucking age-old thing, and I 100% think this is true, is if you want to end the war on drugs, you can end it right now.
Oh, just make
it legal.
Yeah.
Of
Then
course.
you tax the shit, and you can
Nah, that I
regulate
fully
the
agree
purity.
with.
You can have it in a you know, you can assign doctors to take care of it, and there's a whole nother job market in there that's all legal and all regulated. And then it puts the black market out of business.
Yeah, and treat addiction like a medical problem. And that's also one of those things where I feel like some people might like ideologically be like, oh, why should I pay for whatever? And it's like, because this is where we live and you're actually...
It's not going away. Yeah.
But especially because it's not going away, you're saving money by treating those people medically, because you're just going to end up spending more by treating it like a crime and like...
jail and then a halfway house.
And
then
paying
jail again.
and paying for
medical field.
an emergency room visit. And then you might, I've had friends and people I know in rehab, and a lot of people that work there are people that are former addicts that have now straightened out, or at least are like trying to, and are now working at those places. And like, you create a whole industry that sort of sustains itself with those people as well.
Oh my God.
Let's call the president and tell him our ideas.
I got his number. I saw something I haven't seen in a while. The good old fashioned heroin lean.
Like, like a little
like
slow, yeah.
There's a bar that in Brooklyn, and it's right near like Myrtle Wyckoff, and not Myrtle Wyckoff, Broadway Myrtle, and it's like, which that was historically such a terrible neighborhood. It's still not a great neighborhood.
Depends on the time of day.
Yeah, but having a bar with outdoor seating,
right?
Now it's just like it's like a murder's row of like, you're sitting out there and like there's just
they are technically supposed to. I mean, I guess they're supposed to close at 11, but as soon as it's nightfall, you're gonna get
like just so many people coming around and doing laps asking for money and whatnot.
Yeah,
which is that's bound to happen. And
if you got people spending money on booze, chilling there, like that's where to go. If I was trying to get money,
that doesn't bother me at all. But that was where I saw the guy just doing the fucking heroin lean.
Oh man!
And he pulled out the New York City Narcan bags. You know what Narcan is?
I know Narcan, right?
Narcan, yeah.
Narcan, yeah.
Well, he had his like whole wallet and
that's very responsible that he had.
It was in a Narcan bag. And because we had to like at the bar, we had to take like Narcan training, and like we have it behind the bar, and they taught us how to use it.
That's cool. Is that all bars in New York?
No, and it's not mandatory. It's a voluntary thing. We just as a group, not even our owner, but we as a group decided to take the training.
That's great.
And to have it behind the bar just in case, because you never know what's going to happen. And thankfully, we didn't have to use it while the bar was still open. But I know what that bag looks like.
Right.
And so I saw him. He pulled it out of his pants, and I was like, what am I in Portland, Oregon in the 90s?
Yeah,
this is great.
Or Portland, Oregon today.
Right.
When I was driving somewhere in an Uber, man, and we were at a stoplight right over at that junction, and me and this Uber driver just happened to. He was sitting in the front seat. I was sitting right behind him. We both just happened to look over at this guy who was doing these. It was two dudes doing the heroin fucking sway back and forth or whatever. Right, they're clearly fucking out of it, and they had a bag of Taco Bell right in front of them. And this guy came walking up, looked at them both, waved in front of their hand, or waved his hand in front of their face.
Took the Taco
and
Bell.
then looked down and picked up the Taco Bell, looked inside, goes okay, and then walked away with it. It was fucking hilarious.
Well, I remember when I first moved to New York, there was the Big Boy Deli right there, and apparently it's now been closed, but that was the source of most of the K2, the spice.
Oh yeah, the spice epidemic.
That's where I'd get on the M train to go to my house, but like you get off on the train right there. Like say if you're on the J and you got off to get on the M at that junction, you could smell the K2 in the air.
Oh yeah,
it was like gnarly. I was like, oh man, it's not. It
Oh, I
doesn't
miss
smell.
it.
It doesn't smell as bad as crack. Crack smells way worse. But like for some reason that K2 smell is very particular. You see all the K2 zombies just.
Yeah,
Dude, before that was like a crazy thing where everybody's like, oh, K2, people are dying K2. This one time my buddy got a ton of it, like literally in powder form, not even K2, but like whatever. I forget what it is, like
The chemical,
numbers
whatever,
and
yeah.
letters or whatever. And he would like, I remember he was like, oh, we're going to smoke a joint. And he would like sprinkle it on the joint and we would smoke it. And we got super fucked up.
Yeah.
And I don't remember anything like that crazy. But then eventually like we would sprinkle it on joints and then we like ran out of weed a couple times. We literally just smoked that shit right out of the bowl.
gross.
And we spent like a month or two where we would smoke this shit all the time.
I would.
And- and you would get, it was a unique high. You get like really fucked up. But then, yeah, and then we just didn't do it anymore.
And then
and
I
then-
stabbed my friend to death.
Nothing like that. Although I did text him recently, not that recently, but like when it became a thing again, I was
Yeah.
like, oh, K2. I was like, hey man, that was K2 that we were smoking, right? He was like, it was this chemical compound that is the main ingredient in K2. I'm like, did anything crazy? Like everyone's talking about it like it's so crazy. He's like, yeah, I just remember my roommate smoked it a couple times and was just like in fetal position crying in the corner of the room when I came into the living room a couple times. But otherwise, somehow we
That's
lucked
just me
out.
like on every other day when I wake up in the morning.
Yeah, sober.
Sober in the fetal position crying. I remember when K2 first came out, I had a bunch of friends that were starting to get into it and I'm like,
It wasn't even illegal. It was
No,
just
it's totally
synthetic
legal.
No,
weed.
you just get it at the bodega.
and I was
Yeah.
like, this shit is I mean, I'm not like a weed smoker in general, but I was like, this smells like those potpourri bags that your mom would
Yeah.
keep in like the drawer. I was
Yeah,
like,
it doesn't
yeah,
feel
gross.
natural. That's
when
for
K2
sure.
came out, I could just get weed.
Right.
Yeah, I'm like, I don't need the synthetic shit. I'll just go get weed.
Well, it was just kind of a weird thing where I remember he sprinkled it on when we smoked a joint or even out of a bowl, and it was like, well, that got us fucking fucked up. And then, yeah, I guess we just ran out of weed and kept
We
smoking
used to
that.
sprinkle cocaine on our weed.
Woo banger, they call that.
or a coolie.
Freebasing.
Really, it's just freebasing.
That you see, everybody says that's crack, and I'm like, that's not how
Well,
crack.
no,
works.
No,
'cause
you gotta
mix
cook
it.
crack.
You gotta mix it with the stuff.
Right, but that's what everybody's like, that's crack. I was like, that's not what crack is.
Like, get out of town. I always, I never, because I just don't smoke cigarettes either, but I always wanted to try freebasing because I was so obsessed with Richard Pryor. Richard Pryor Live at Sunset Strip is like one of my all-time favorite albums, and that's comedy albums, and that's where he talks about when he set himself on fire freebasing.
Yeah.
That's true.
That's what he talks about, that whole thing in that, and I'm just like, he was like one of my all-time favorite comedians. That's one of my all-time favorite hours, and I was like, man, I need to try that.
I mean, you can just skip the freebasing and set yourself on fire.
I could just set myself on fire. I've done that.
I could never believe that Superman's friend set himself on fire. Like that was.
Wait, what is it? Were they good buddies with Christopher
No,
Reeve?
No,
just
Superman
in the
3
movie.
had,
In Superman 3, Richard Pryor was in it.
He was?
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
That
man.
was like the big draw for Superman 3. He was on the cover.
Yeah,
He's on the movie. Superman's carrying him on the movie.
Who's
poster.
he? What's the deal? I don't remember
Superman
this.
3 is not good.
It's horrible.
Is it? It's a Christopher Reeve
yeah,
one.
but it's Christopher
Yeah.
Reeves.
It's
not-
got a bad
Is Gene
guy.
Hackman still in it?
No,
No,
see,
he's
that's the
not
thing.
in it anymore.
But they have just another bad rich guy,
Yeah.
and that Richard Pryor is like a computer genius who's
I
being
love it.
like kind of like, I forget how it all goes. Like,
Oh, I gotta
duped-
watch it
duped
just
into
for
help
Richard
him out.
Pryor.
Just for Richard
Oh, it's
Pryor,
so bad. But there's one part that scared me. There's this woman who was like the henchwoman or the girlfriend of the dude, and like she got swallowed up by the computer
Yeah.
and then turned into a computer. And I was like, oh shit, that's how that works.
I love 80s movies versions of what computers were like.
Yeah. But Richard Pryor was in that one. That
God,
was
I
like,
love Richard Pryor so much.
I think they were looking at it like, well, Superman 3 alone isn't going to work. We need to put like another star in
I
it.
know this isn't a shocker to anyone that's listening to this podcast or in this room. I've lit myself on fire and been lit on fire several times.
I've never
Yeah,
been
I
lit on
believe it.
fire.
I mean, freshman year of high school in my speech class, I thought it'd be a funny trick during a thing. I don't even remember what the speech was about, but I poured rubbing alcohol over my hand and lit it on fire.
Oh, so that like it burns away and you do a cool effect.
Yeah, you can't get away with shit like that in high school. I can't even believe that I did that.
Right.
But I remember we were on tour. This was in the Chongo Malo days, my band I was in, like from high school till like 30. We were on tour and we were in Antioch College in Yellow Springs, Ohio.
Yeah.
Which is like a crazy super liberal arts high school or college.
Yeah.
Like it's just insane. It's what they based PCU off of.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's like that. So it's like, but it's insane. So we show up there the first day. They have their own like private security. So they have a deal with the cops that cops don't come on the campus unless things are really bad.
Is the original autonomous zone. Yeah,
and it was like that. And it's just super. It's like an ultra liberal haven. You know, like you make up your own major, and there's no grades. That type of thing.
Like a Montessori school.
Super expensive.
I bet.
Yeah, it only works under liberal idealism.
Yeah, but we roll up, and the idea that like they're like, yeah, do whatever you want, just don't like hurt anybody, and just do whatever you want. And I'm like, this is great. I roll up my first day there. These like super butch lesbians that look like greasers, with like their t-shirts tucked into their jeans and hair all slicked back.
Oh yeah.
We had a push-up contest and I lost. This was great. So I like shotgunned a beer, and then someone handed me a beer bong and a bottle of Jack Daniels. I'm like, this is great. And so there people had fireworks, so I'm doing, I love to take bottle rockets, just light them and hold them in my hand and let them go. This is a great trip, but I was fucking hammered, and I just was doing it, and I was like telling some story, like, yeah, it was just crazy with a firework lit, and all of a sudden I was like, oh shit, and I let it go, and it blew up like 1 foot away from me.
Oh wow!
But everyone's like, oh, that was so crazy, that was so close, and all of a sudden I'm like, what's that fucking smell? Oh shit, and I'm on fire.
Yeah.
My shirt caught on fire. I'm like, and I got it out, but everyone was like, thought I was the best.
I've never done that. That's amazing. I've set a bunch of fires in my day.
Oh yeah,
I've set fires. The closest I've come.
Kid thing.
Yeah, setting on the train tracks, like lighting a log on fire. We did one of those, and we like tried to piss it out, and it got out of control, and we just left. And then we saw the fire trucks coming to put it. It was like a giant wooden log on the train tracks.
Well, it's like, and like in Arizona, everything's so dry. It's like a fucking tinderbox. You'd be there playing around, and then like all of a sudden, it's way out of control, and you just got to run, and you're terrified.
Damn.
We would take Nerf footballs and tape M80s to them, like in a circle. Like
I'd love it.
Like I mean, like 6 of them.
Yeah.
And like try and tie the wicks together and everything. And I mean, it was basically a fucking bomb.
Yeah, at that point.
Dude, fire is so fascinating when
It's
you're a kid.
When you're
it's
a kid,
such
it's
a
the
power.
best thing ever.
I blew up a mailbox at a Russian camp in the Catskills when I was like
a couple of those.
11 or something like that.
When I was in the Navy, I had to be on I didn't have to, but I was just on we could land a helicopter on the back of our ship, right? And in case
You flown a helicopter?
No.
Oh.
But in case
But you were a fireman, right?
Yeah, in case the helicopter ever crashed or whatever caught on fire, I was the guy in one of those silver suits.
Oh shit!
With the gold face. Well, it's actually copper face mask to go, and like I had like a claw, like a thing, and to break into the helicopter to drag the helicopter pilot out. And so we had to go through training, and you go through training and you go through like actual fire. They have like a reconstructed gate with gas fires underneath, and you're in the suit. And there's fire, like you're stepping in, like fire's like consuming your leg. It's not hurting or anything like that. I mean, it's definitely fucking hot, but you're just like kind of staring at him and for like, this is fucking cool.
Yeah, dude, you're like in an Iron Man suit.
Yeah, but it catches up with you. Like you really actually you gas out like from heat exhaustion or whatever more than you do from like an actual burn.
There was this I got cast and we shot this pilot. And what it was, this guy who I know, he was like a professional daredevil, like a Evel Knievel style movie stuntman daredevil guy. And he was in his like 50s or 60s. And he had actually...
So his body's falling apart.
Yeah, falling apart bad. He was a great dude, hilarious. And he had actually already sold a show to like History Channel or something that was on. And so his thing was he was trying to do a news show. And the idea for the show was that he had a stuntman school, being a professional stuntman, and he was going to find like internet jackass style stuntman kids,
See if they can
fly them
learn
out and then
the
train them
legit
to do it
shit.
right. And so my role in the show was I was like comic relief. I was like the administrator of the school, and I was just running around being
Did you go to
funny.
that fire tower?
What's that?
Did you go to that fire tower to
did.
shoot this?
I did go to a fire tower.
Yeah, this is the thing upstate.
No, this is a different.
Oh, okay.
This is
okay,
this is a
okay.
different
Oh,
thing.
sorry.
I don't have been in many pilots that never fucking went anywhere. Spoiler alert. So we were down and we it was crazy. So yeah, my job was just comic relief. I had like broken glasses and I was wearing a suit and I was kind of just manic and be like, oh, this is gonna cost so much money. You know, his name was Dr. Danger. And I was like, Dr. Danger, this is gonna be too expensive. We can't do, like I was like insane. I was going up and it was really fun. I just ad-libbed all my lines. It was really fun. It was a great
That's awesome.
weekend. But one of his tricks is I mean, we did so many things. They drove a car through an RV.
Oh hell yeah!
Like a jumping car. We blew up a car.
I'm always down.
We
for
blew up a car
destruction.
with them in it, and that was part of the thing. They had to get out of it.
Yeah.
It was part of the deal. But I got to actually like pull the plunger on the car. We shot machine guns and stuff. That was just because we were in the middle of the desert and we could do it. We blew up.
That's the place to do it.
Yeah, it was really great. But one of Dr. Danger's tricks, and I was like, let me do it. He's like, I don't know. But he had these kids, because he got these kids, they were from Pennsylvania. They were like just jackass style kids. One would get kicked in the nuts all the time, and one would do flips on fire. They were just doing that stuff. But the kids were funny, but like one of Dr. Danger's things was controlled burns. Like where he set the person on fire in the suit and then put him out. And it was so I was like, they all went really well. The dude is honestly a professional. Like he was on America's Got Talent and stuff. Like he's a real deal. So no one got.
That's the metric.
No one.
Everyone on that show's lit themselves on fire.
Yeah, right. I just remember being like, let me do it. And he's like, okay, if we have enough time after we get all the footage, I'll let you do it. And he didn't let me do it. But he had all these kids like in the suit, and one kid like straight panicked.
Oh yeah, it is. I mean,
they were dudes were like a bunch of brothers, but the one dude I remember he like freaked out. Like, get it off me. He was already out. Like, get the suit off me. Get it off me.
Yeah.
It's got to be
just
hot
losing
as
his
fuck.
shit.
Just losing it.
I'm
yeah.
sure it's hot. I'd more be afraid of the one thing I've burned a bunch is like my mustache lighting roaches and stuff.
Oh yeah, for sure.
And even cooking like on a fire, like camping, like we were saying, like I've lit like knuckle hair or like I know the smell of burnt hair, and it's not a good smell.
No, it's not a good.
But I know it. It's so familiar because I've lit my mustache or my knuckle hair like a little monkey.
God, we used to do so many things like with fire. We were just so dumb kids. Like, did you ever have wizard fights? Like Roman candle fights?
Oh yeah.
Those are
No,
so
we
much fun
never
in the
did
dark.
that.
You just each get Roman candles and you light them. You just shoot them at each other.
Yeah.
Bounce off. Sometimes you catch on fire. Sometimes they don't.
Yeah. Sometimes it would hurt. You get hit in the eye.
Yeah, I don't like candles on bars.
Just because of the fire hazard?
You're shocked how many times I've seen long hair go up.
Oh, I bet.
Oh yeah.
Like man and woman, like I've literally this dude was sitting there and he was kind of like this and he's like a Hessian dude, long hair, a metal guy, and I literally was like, and I started slapping his hair and his shoulder. He's like, "What are you doing?" I was like, "Dude, your fucking hair just caught on fire." He's like, "Oh shit, bro, thanks." So I'm like, "Get the." I've seen it happen to girls. I've seen it happen so many times.
I've never seen anybody's hair catch on fire.
Dude, I got in a. This is maybe off the subject a little bit. We've been talking about fire so much. I don't like candles at bars, but one time it saved me. I got in this gnarly fight with these two guys at the same time, and they kind of bum rushed me, and I fell into a booth like that. Well, it was weird. It's like, like I said, I'm from Tucson, which is a pretty rough place at times, but I just gotten off work, and I went, and all my friends were hanging out at this bar, and it was like me. It was like all my friends over here, me, and then my girlfriend at the time. It's kind of a fucking loudmouth, annoying woman.
Most of them are.
And then these two random dudes came up, and there was a seat right there, and so I just sat down, literally, I was still in my work clothes, and I'm sitting there, and I ordered a drink. I'm like annoyed that I was just at work, and they're like arguing. These two random guys and the girl are arguing, and I go, enough. I've had enough. Stop. Shut the fuck up and go away, or be cool. Like I'm not doing this right now. the dude stood up and he had a pin in his hand from writing his tab.
It's good acting. It felt so real.
Yeah.
I almost feel like I was getting chastised at a bar.
And I'm sitting on a stool, right? And this dude stood up, and there were two of them, and he had a pin in his hand, and he's like, well, what if I just stab you in the neck with this pin? And before he even said pin, I had punched him and stood up. Because I punched him from sitting down. I punched him like that. And then him and his buddy, they tackled me. I fell into like a leather round booth with a table. We fell through the table, and all my friends are like, what the fuck? They barely had time to like get up. And the guy had my right hand pin, and they were wailing on me a little bit, but I had my left hand. And I fucking grabbed one of those candles, like, from like the Italian restaurant.
Oh, yeah.
Like the red candle.
Yeah.
Like thick glass one. And I went, well, bap, hit one of them and then hit the other one. And then my friends kind of had come in and kind of pulled them off. And then they ran off. But I was so pissed because I got wax all over my work shirt. It ruined my work shirt. That's all it was. I was like, I didn't even care about the fight. And I was kind of mad at my girlfriend. I was like, why are you indulging these fucking idiots?
I love a good candle.
I'm not a candle guy. I feel that is one of those things where people who say that there's no difference between men and women, candles are usually a real big difference. I just almost every woman I know fucking loves candles. And
I'd rather have candlelight than real light.
Oh,
than,
I do.
Like,
you know
light.
what? I will, to be fair. I like candlelight. Candlelight's enjoyable. But as far as like smelling candles and all that kind of stuff.
Oh yeah, I don't give a shit about that. Like,
It's
I
just-
don't care. It's more about the ambiance.
There's
and,
a straight difference between men and women.
I don't care what your genitals are. I don't care what your chromosomes are. If you're into these smelly candles, you're a woman, and I respect that.
I respect your decision to live.
Yeah.
I'm definitely not
candles.
one of those people. I'm not a Yankee Candle guy, but like
The smells of that do give me a headache.
It's just never. It's always like I just want to smell air, and if it smells like shit, yeah, light a candle. I'd rather that than shit. But otherwise, like I'm not into colognes. I don't even wear deodorant.
even wear
I'm gonna
deodorant.
start.
I'd rather
I
just
promised
save-
I'd start because I know I stink.
I'd rather save money and keep my lights off.
Burn candles.
Just burn candles.
I just have
Like
a trash,
squatter.
just a
Like
little trash fire in the living room.
I want to get
to
one.
keep warm.
I want to get one giant candle for the living room.
Just a tub.
Just like
ahead
like
and
I don't
bulk.
know if they had these. They had these when I was a kid. It's like just a giant candle, like with
Industrial
glass around it or whatever,
size.
and because so that you're not having to buy new candles like all the time. You just have a candle in your living room that you just light whenever you want to have fucking candles.
Derek
Last
likes
40 years.
candles. He likes ambiance.
I do. I want my whole place covered in wax.
It's a fire hazard having all the
Big
candles.
time fire hazard.
They came to the right house. They know how to put out a fire.
I was a fireman in the Navy. God damn it.
I mean, I'll probably
What
sleep.
have you done with your life?
I'll probably sleep through it. Oh, I don't care about that. But I'm just saying, like,
joking.
I probably sleep through a fire. Honestly, more than anything, I think that'd be the fire that would get me.
Well, yeah, and then don't you pass out from the smoke inhalation eventually anyway?
I hope so.
It's how I want to go.
I hope I die in my sleep like that. Either that or drowning.
God, they both sound like terrible ways to die.
in your sleep?
No, drowning or getting caught on fire.
Yeah, I don't want to get caught on fire.
No,
I wanna-
inhalation.
Inhalation. Like
Yeah,
you pass
yeah.
That's
out
got to
and
be a
then-
decent way to die because that's similar to like when people run the car in the garage. You
Yeah.
know, you just coast
Oh,
away.
man, I know a guy who fucking had a truck and had a grill and fucking lit his grill or whatever and then closed his doors in his truck and sat in there with his grill and just went
Wait,
to sleep.
grill like a
like a
like the you cook
propane grill.
propane
yeah,
grill.
yeah, like and then just whatever, like lit a grill for smoke inside of his fucking truck. He killed himself that way. He lit a fucking
Yeah.
grill so it would create so much smoke and they just stayed
He was in
the
a
fucking-
garage or just in a truck?
No, inside the truck itself.
And you lit a grill inside
It's
the
an
truck.
extended cab truck. Yeah, I know. It's fucking weird. It's the weirdest thing I've
I'm
ever
just
heard
trying to
of.
picture it, but also
He's
I
like,
thought
I don't got enough gas. I don't got enough gas in the tank to run the engine long
so
enough.
he probably didn't even light the grill. He probably just let the propane spill because if he lit it, it would
No,
probably.
I think he lit it And then I forget how the whole story went, but it was the weirdest thing I've ever heard of. Where he took the grill.
I don't know this for sure, but I feel like if it's lit, then it burns away, and you're not
Maybe-
actually
but
inhaling
maybe-
propane.
Well, no, but he was probably
Yeah, but
he probably just put smoke chips in it, or it was burning shit.
Something
yeah,
to
he
make
was
carbon
burning
monoxide.
something, to create the carbon.
What he was
monoxide.
doing was being environmentally irresponsible.
Actually, he was being responsible the
'Cause
way he
he
did
killed
it because
himself,
he
yeah.
because he didn't release the gases into the
Killed himself.
environment.
One
They're all
less
just
person
within
is
the
always
Instead
good
of
for
the ozone
environment.
layer, it went straight to the dome.
I mean, like inside that truck, they're not going to have any trees or anything grow soon. But
Oh.
I forget who did it, but I miss him. And
Like, I forget his name. It was
no, I felt really bad. No, it was a guy that I do remember. I'm trying to remember who he is now. I mean, I remember him, but like
I mean, I think about how I'm pretty sure that I'm gonna kill myself when the time comes.
why?
Because it's like who wants to be fucking 90 years old?
Yeah, but you know what? I'll tell you from I have two very old grandmas, and when that day comes and you're comfortable with it, you're gonna be waiting for it, but you're not gonna
Wait for
do
it.
it.
Well,
Although I do have
let's do it like next year.
you have to be physically in a condition where you can still do it. Once you're like truly feeble in that kind of
Yeah,
old
you
age,
can't actually
the
do it.
irony is you're almost trapped that way, and it's actually really difficult to do
Yeah.
something like
There's
that.
a building in my neighborhood where it's predominantly old people, and there's this one lady who's going for like a walk, quote unquote, with like her caretaker, and she had one of those walkers that you can sit in and kind of scoot along. And she was pushing herself up out of the walker. And this isn't to be disrespectful to the lady or anything like that, but like she looked like she was struggling so hard just to push herself up and stand on her own. Where it's like, man, I don't want to be like that.
I mean, I guess it depends.
I know. But I mean, like, here's the thing: is like, I mean, I don't have a say in it, but to a certain extent, where I either want to be healthy enough that I don't end up becoming that,
Yeah.
or I die younger than that.
And it
takes hold of
depends
my
where your
body.
mind is at, too. Like, if your body's like that and your mind is also deteriorated, that's all really difficult. But at 90 years old, like, I'm going to guess even if your body is deteriorated, you might, I mean, it depends on pain, too. That's the other big one. But your mind might be in such a place where you're able to just, like, take it for what it is and, like, this is how I'm riding out my last days, and hopefully you got this and that to show for your life.
I just want to be suffocated by titties.
I
I just want large.
Thank you for like
large
having that
breast.
button on what I just said, because
I just
want to
I just
want
want
to
to
have-
have. I just want to have enough. Like it's like the pillow in One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest, but I want some big old titties on my face
right.
to suffocate me until I go to sleep. Is that so wrong?
No,
I'll
I
take
don't
a
think
Nurse
that's so
Ratched
wrong.
death. my ass is hurting.
Is it the wooden chairs? Chew
Well,
it up?
I mean, it's just been I've been sitting down all day. It's all me.
Well, I mean, we could put a button on this podcast. This is another great, Derek. Great job.
I think we did it.
Thanks, you
Horace,
guys did
great
great.
job. This was fun.
We did 2 tonight, and I think we really held our stamina. You know,
It's true.
it's
It's
the real
true.
Olympics of podcasts.
Yeah,
So,
feel like
I
I'm
didn't,
breaking the chair.
I know sometimes my fight stories make people uncomfortable. I'm sorry.
No,
Oh,
I
I'm not
like
comfortable at
hearing
all.
them.
There's so many. I know Anthony DeVito. I don't do him on stage that often, but for some reason, like 3 or 4 shows in a row, I ended up doing weird fight jokes or fight stories.
With
he just had-
Anthony, and now he's like afraid
no,
of
he
you.
just no, he just like he's like all you do is get in fucking fights, and I was like, no, it's
No.
just bad timing that I happened to talk about it when you were around. It's like,
You're
Jesus.
a gentle man. I'm almost
I am.
surprised.
I am a gentleman, but you grow up in a rough place. Sometimes it happens.
I suppose
I haven't
so.
been in a fight in years.
Thank God, me neither.
Yeah.
I've basically never been
Alright.
in a fight.
Good for you. That's awesome.
I don't know if I don't think that's either extreme is probably not good.
All right, guys, it's been fun. Check us out
Yeah,
on
I'm
social
warm.
media. Like,
Good talk.
rate, subscribe. Thank you for being here. We love you and we miss you, and we'll see you soon.
Say goodbye to Jericho's nipple.
Bam.